Hello, beautiful, amazing, wonderful Earth, with all of you unique individual beings. Today, I would like to speak about how life is an always ongoing living thing, and it doesn't wait for anyone. Everything is in constant movement, everything is in constant change, ebbing away and flowing. And we human beings are also meant to follow in these rhythms, but we are meant to do it with our free will, to take it, grab it, and follow it with our active soul forces, with our active will, with our heart. When we do spiritual training, when we do practice every day for what is important, especially for what we might need in the years to come, it is important to be in balance. This balance here is in the heart. The heart is always the center of things. When you feel empathy and antipathy for good and evil, you have what should we call it? A guiding system, a compass, a pointer to what we should focus on and to what we should know are there. We know what we human beings are capable of. We know how dark of human beings we can be. But to stay not optimistic, not idealistically either, but realistically, know that if we keep going with what we are doing, the consequences will be immeasurable. But if we daily, each individual, grab a hold of their own evolution and growth in process, we can start to make changes that are actually loving in nature, understanding in nature, beautiful in nature. But we have, of course, a long way to go before we will reach that point. Because, as I said, until every individual have grabbed a hold of their own path, we won't be getting anywhere. We can't say that we need this system or this system or this system to make things work, because these concept abstractions are dead. Think about this. If we have a democracy, taken as an example, it is the majority votes. But if you don't stand for the majority most of the time, you will feel like it is the devil choosing. And especially if it is of the immoral and unethical kind, the controlling, the oppressing kind. We have a lot of oppression in this world. But to be able to every day wake up, to build yourself strength and faculties, to be ready for these kinds of oppressions, to be ready to have a word, to have a say, to be ready to have this center, this strength, this lion heart. That lion heart that actually is loving. It is not crying and screaming out in anger and in hate and in pain. It is a roaring out of justice, a roaring out of beauty, a roaring out of righteousness. It is very hard to explain it definitive in words, but it is just. This feeling is loving. Just and loving can go hand in hand. There is no need to be cold and calculating and like a rock in judgment. We need to discern things to actually know if it is good for us or if it is bad for us. That is our judgment in this. We can't stop judging. That is impossible. Or else we wouldn't be able to choose for ourselves. But to put a judgment on something in the spur of the moment, based on something you personally have experienced or built up as consequences of your life, that is not control. That is just a personal opinion. But if you are actively, taking as an example, observing a human being in your active consciousness, then you see he has a beautiful clothing style, and that's nice, that's a nice color setup, or look at his posture and steps. Listen to how he speaks. This is the underlying where the spirit comes from. It is not their appearance, it is not their clothes, but it is their outshining of these things through them. Reflections. And to be able to just stand in this middle, in the heart, this heart, it is so important, because the heart is the guidance. The heart is where understanding comes from, even through pain. When heart experience pain, you understand that pain and can relate to others through that pain. Or you can react to it maybe, but then you won't be getting very far with it. It will come bite you in the butt again. I meant complaining in the worst case scenario here, of course. But everywhere to its place. We have all our difficulties in life. And no one can judge anyone's difficulty from their own standpoint, unless you are to try to understand them in a loving manner. If you try to understand them in a loving manner, they will feel safe to open up. They will feel safe to be in the presence of this moment. There is no thinking agenda or feeling of discontent or anything in there. There are just this moment, and we are sharing in the moment. This moment is forever. You can never hide from this moment. You can try to run away from it, but the moment will catch up to you. And that is why distractions, that is why trying to run away from life, that is why waiting for life, not waiting in the sense of you are patiently practicing and waiting to see how the result might play out. That is something completely different. But waiting for life to give you something exciting. Wait for life to give you something to ease your boredom. The boredom is meant for you to grab a hold of the moment actively so you can work with it. Mold the boredom to a moment of joy, a moment of, how should we say it? Enjoyment. And contemplation. Allow yourself the moment for inner contemplation. Speak to yourself even. It is actually easier to speak out loud what you want to focus on. When you do it, you say the word and you get to the word with your thoughts and feelings. That's one way to do it. But of course, when you are alone, you don't have necessarily a lot of help. So you have a lot of trials and errors. A lot of, this might be good, but no, it wasn't good after all. Many, many times, failure is part of life. But success is also part of life. And the success you gain is the fuel to keep going. You see the progress, you see the change, you see the evolution of what is happening, and you get a broader and broader insight and overview of what is happening in this world. you can start to feel your way through concepts and start to understand them with your soul instead of just memorizing words and struggling with understanding the concept. That is just an example. The training requires sacrifice. It requires to use your time, use your free time, where you would normally watch TV, play video games. I have nothing against video games, by the way. Or meet friends and just distract away from what is important in life. And when I say important in life, I do not mean money, survival, and debt, and these basic things even animals can do. I'm thinking about, what do you do every day to make this world a better place? That is the question everyone should ask themselves daily, if they want to see a change in this world. We are the change in this world. We are the future. We are now. And from now we build the future. And if we keep doing what we do now, the future will be pretty grim. But I don't look at life pessimistically like that. I look at life, we get, what is it called? Possibilities. We have a possibility to get out of this with our own free will. But as I said, this needs to be actively cultivated, actively. Every day, as often as you have the capability of doing, and as much as the karma allows you. This is what I had to say today. Thanks, everyone. I wanted to be a little stern today. I have that side of me too. But it is still coming from the heart center. It is still, you just want to care for the world. You just want to feel. You can't feel 100% happy yourself until everyone on this planet have power in this world to make a difference. Because we can't leave anyone behind. We are all part of this and we can't neglect anyone. And that is also the hardest part, because a lot of people is really hard to have in the whole picture of things, but they are there and they have to be a part. We can't ignore it. It has to be part of reality. That is what we have built for ourselves. The darkness, the evil, the oppression, the manipulation, the lies. All of this we have to know is in this world. We can't be a willy-nilly goody two-shoes. We have to know that they exist and that they are opposition, and everything we build up, it is going to be broken and destroyed again. So we have to keep doing it until we have a foundation strong enough. This is reality. You see it clear as day if you observe the world. And yeah, thanks for listening to me. I love you all. I hope everyone find your own individual path and practice and training for becoming what we really are supposed to become, human spirits. Love you all. Goodbye. Oh, may the divine and God and Christ, the Holy Spirit, and all the angelic hierarchies bless us all in the evolution. Goodbye.